Prepare yourself for the most amazing, unbelievable, and terrible tree falling accidents ever caught on camera. Watch as these alleged experts routinely cut through destruction, complete with chainsaws, trees, and disaster. A complete disaster. A chainsaw slips, a large tree falls the wrong way, and a worker falls off a ladder in a terrifying moment. Some moments are scary, some are shocking, and this one's pure chaos. A man cutting a tree, it falls the wrong way, and he runs for his life just before it crashes down. While the plan was to safely cut down the tree, things went wrong. The tree leaned the wrong way and crashed onto the house's roof, turning a simple job into a total disaster. So sit back, grab your snacks, and prepare for these jaw-dropping moments of tree falling chaos and chainsaw disasters. Stay tuned for the most outrageous and disastrous tree-cutting fails that will leave you shocked and speechless. A simple job gone wrong. The large tree branch fell with a sudden crash, creating a terrifying scene. One man couldn't move in time and got hit badly. The moment was scary, reminding everyone how dangerous tree cutting with a chainsaw can be. Next up, the tree branch collapsed suddenly, turning a routine cut into a dangerous moment. The man with the chainsaw nearly fell, shaken by the force. It was a terrifying near miss, but he managed to stay safe. A man cut a tree with a chainsaw, while two others pulled it with ropes. Suddenly, the tree bent the wrong way and crashed into the house, turning a simple task into a shocking and unexpected disaster. A tragic event occurred as a chainsaw cutter was carefully cutting a tree. The tree began falling in the wrong direction, right into a car. It destroyed the car under it with an outstanding bang before anyone noticed. What had started as an easy job had become a major mess. Next, two people were using a chainsaw to cut down a tree. One stood close by, the other on a ladder. A big branch suddenly snapped and fell. The individual on the ladder stumbled and fell. Fortunately, he just had a minor wound. Cutting went wrong. It was a near miss. High up, a tree cutter was cutting the top of a large tree with a chainsaw. The lower portion shivered strongly when the upper portion dropped. Strong shock suddenly hit the cutter, but he somehow held on. He may have fallen, and the accident could have been terrible, so it was a near miss. A man cut down a tree with a chainsaw while two people waited nearby. Suddenly, the tree fell in the wrong direction, creating a dangerous situation. One wrong move turned this task into a risky and unpredictable disaster. Suddenly, a tree began to fall in the incorrect direction, directly at a tree cutter who was actively cutting. It might have seriously hurt him or possibly killed him. Fortunately, nevertheless, he was able to escape in time. He was lucky to have survived the terrible accident unscathed. A man was using a chainsaw to cut down a tall tree when he fell down a ladder. When the tree's top fell, The bottom started shaking very hard. The ladder trembled from the sudden shock, and the man lost his balance and fell to the ground. That was a risky moment. You won't want to miss this. One person was standing on a tall tree, trying to cut it with a chainsaw in the beautiful snowy weather. They only managed to cut the top part of the tree. Cutting trees isn't just about looking brave, it's about not being an idiot. A cutter was cutting a limb with a chainsaw in a tree, but all of a sudden, the tree fell over from the bottom. Without time to respond, he fell with it. It was a hazardous and terrible moment, and things could have gone very wrong for him.
Jump!
Next, a man used the chainsaw to cut down a tree while standing on a ladder. The tree's top collapsed unexpectedly in the incorrect direction. The ladder fell over when it hit something, and the cutter hit the ground hard. It was an unsafe and dangerous situation, and he might have been hurt. A worker was cutting a tree from the bottom with a chainsaw, when suddenly the tree began to crack and fall over like an explosion. It was quite risky and unexpected. The cutter saw the danger and hurried to his rescue. It could have gone wrong with just one mistake. This was a close call. It suddenly split in two when a chainsaw was used to cut a tree. While one half stayed upright, the other fell and collapsed. That was a scary time. The cutter was standing back, which was fortunate because he may have been seriously hurt by the falling pieces if he had been closer.
Oh, barber chair.
Near a house, a cutter cut a tall tree with a chainsaw. Someone else pulled it in the opposite direction with a strong rope to keep it from falling on a home. However, things did not work out. The tree fell directly onto the home rather than safely. A terrible event. An axe and a chainsaw were being used by two individuals to cut down a tall tree. They attempted to manage its descent, but failed. The tree did not fall safely. Instead, it curved dangerously toward the house and hit it. Their plan went wrong, making an easy assignment into a major disaster. You've never seen anything like this. A man was cutting down a palm tree with a chainsaw, standing on the wrong side. When the tree fell, the bottom of it hit him right on, sending him tumbling down. And to make it worse, the chainsaw flipped upside down with him. What a total disaster and failure. A man cut down a tree with a chainsaw, while two others pulled it with a rope. However, the tree unexpectedly fell in the wrong direction, crashing into the house. Their plan completely backfired, creating a dangerous situation.
Go, run! What?
A chainsaw operator was cutting a tree in the hope that it would fall in the correct location. However, things didn't work out. A car was parked directly where the tree fell. What should have been a normal operation turned into an immense tragedy when it fell directly onto the car. A man was trying to safely bring down a tree by using a chainsaw to cut it down. However, things went wrong. The tree bent incorrectly and fell directly onto the house rather than going in the proper direction. What should have been a straightforward procedure became an accident.
There it goes, onto the house. Onto my house, guys.
A cutter was using a chainsaw to cut down a tree close to a car and a shelter. He tried to control the tree's fall, but he was unsuccessful. The tree moved in the wrong direction and fell directly onto the vehicle rather than safely.
Terry! It's coming! It's coming!
Near a house, a man used the chainsaw to cut down a tree while attempting to keep it from collapsing. However, things didn't work out. The tree moved in the wrong direction and fell directly onto the house rather than safely. What started as a straightforward task became a major disaster. A tree was being cut with a chainsaw when it unexpectedly split in two. While the other half stood, the other came crashing down and fell. The cutter saw the danger and ran to his rescue. Fortunately, he managed to get away in time, preventing what may have been an extreme injury. Finally, a cutter was high up on a tall tree, using a chainsaw to cut the upper portion. Suddenly, as the top part fell, the lower section shook violently. The cutter lost balance and spun around, almost falling. It was a terrifying moment, but luckily, he managed to hold on just in time. Well, there you have it. Some of the most disastrous tree falling fails and chainsaw blunders caught on camera. Trees don't listen. Now, if you thought these tree falling fails were insane, wait till you see what we covered in our last video. It's even crazier. Don't forget to hit that like button, subscribe, and stay tuned for more jaw-dropping tree falling fails. We've got even crazier moments on the way. Catch you in the next one.